Yes, people, welcome back to the Magpie Channel TV. Now, I've got to touch on this one straight off. We're going to get into some more Newcastle United news and what other players have been saying after the Carabao Cup win about how they want to become greats and gods at this club and lift the trophy. That's coming from a current Newcastle player. One or two other things I want to talk about. But first off, I've got to talk about the pre-match press conference from Bournemouth in which Eddie Howe was asked if he would sign Lionel Messi in January. Yep, that's right. That's what was said in the press conference before the Bournemouth game. Now, our good friend from Sky Sports, Keith Downey, tongue-in-cheek asked Eddie Howe, would he sign Messi if he was available in January? This is off the back of, in the press conference, obviously this was on Monday, so they're talking about, did you watch the World Cup final last night, Eddie? What did you think of it? Blah, blah, blah. He goes on to say, Messi's one of the greats, obviously. But then Keith Downey said, so would you sign him in January, Eddie, if he was available? And Eddie came back and said, come on, Keith. And started laughing. He said, come on, Keith, and started laughing, as if it wasn't possible. Eddie, just remember, richest club in the world, baby. We can, never mind PSG, we're shitting all over there money-wise, right? We're third in the league at the minute, Champions League next year, Messi's coming to tune, right? I don't get carried away, just taking the piss, just a bit like Keith was with the question, just a bit of a tongue-in-cheek one. He asked Eddie Howe that, and Eddie Howe responded saying, Keith, come on. And then he just basically went on to say how good Messi still is. He says even with his age, 35 years old, his skills haven't diminished, his attributes haven't diminished, and he is one of the best to ever do it. But I just want to elaborate on that point, and I wonder what Eddie Howe was thinking at the time and afterwards, and if Messi was available, right, this is where we're going. This is where we're going. Would he sign him? Now, of course he would. Any club in the world, I think, would sign Messi. It's not like the Ronaldo situation where it's a bit up in the air because of his attitude and his whinginess, and Ronaldo is 2-3 years older than Messi. This is probably the GOAT now, isn't it? I was always on the fence with it, but after the World Cup win, Messi's got to be it now, hasn't he? Messi's got to be it. So would Newcastle sign him? Yes, anyone in the world would sign him. He's currently playing for Paris Saint-Germain. However, he is meant to be leaving next year. He is meant to be going to Miami. David Beckham's Miami or someone else in the MLS for a little retirement package. A little retirement home for Messi is what he's after next year by the looks of it. And that will annoy me and that will frustrate me, and that's why I was divided on the GOAT opinion, because he's never done it in the Premier League. The classic, he's never done it on a Tuesday night, rainy and Stoke, but he couldn't do that anymore. I've been in the Premier League for years. What's the equivalent now? Norwich will be back next season, he can do that. Do you know what I mean? He's never done it on a Tuesday night, cold somewhere, like a Burnley, if they came back up. Anyways, what I'm saying is, I wanted to see Messi in the Premier League. I wanted to see him tested. Now, we've seen him do it, I suppose, in the Champions League against Manchester United, Arsenal. He's hammered them teams single-handedly as well, but I would want to see him week in, week out. Now, we know Ronaldo's lifted trophies in Spain, in Italy, in England, across the globe. Messi's just done it in the Barcelona comfort blanket for so many years, and then League Un, Farmers Un, the Farmers League. So how do we really judge that? But he's done the World Cup now, so we can see single-handedly how amazing he was in that tournament. And I would absolutely, if the owners could somehow get this done, right, which they're not, it's kind of daft, isn't it? I don't think we're going to say Messi, but let's just have a laugh for it. It's nearly Christmas, right? Just pretend you have a few Christmas drinks, and we're just, stranger things have happened. Do you know what I mean? The Senate takeover wasn't going to happen. Messi's coming. Why not? Do you know what I mean? But if you could imagine the shirt sales, the attention, everything we'd get from that, global marketing, and just the player himself on the pitch. And if Messi didn't decide to go to America and he looks around, if he doesn't go to like a Milan or something, and he wants to come to the Premier League, he'd probably go to Man City, really, wouldn't he? He would probably go. Pep would still take him, I'm sure. He was linked with that before he went to PSG when we knew he was leaving Barca. You could see him maybe going there. But I tell you what, if Man City thought, now we've got Alvarez, the other Argentine striker that did fantastic at the World Cup in Qatar. They've obviously got a whole host of other players. If Man United thought, no, we've made the mistake of going for an old player again, like they did with Ronaldo, Newcastle. Chelsea will be in there as well, but I've heard that Messi doesn't actually like London, doesn't like the capital. The tube stinks. Much prefers the metro, more space on it, yeah. Loves the pasty, cheese and onions his favourite. Greg's, pasty guy, Messi. It all makes sense, if you ask me. You would love to do a bit of abseil down the Tyne Bridge, I reckon. You know what I mean? But abseil down the Tyne Bridge, e-scooter across the Millennium Bridge. Messi's coming, I tell you. Keith Naz, Eddie Howe's keeping it coy. Messi the tune. In other more serious news, Dan Burn did an interview with The Athletic in where he was talking about how serious Newcastle United are taking the cups this year. Now, this is after we're into the quarter-finals now. 1-0 win over Bournemouth last night. Quarter-finals for Newcastle beckons. 2 games away from Wembley. We've never even played at the new Wembley. Apart from when we played against Spurs in the Premier League, when it was their temporary home, we've never played in a cup match there. I was still calling it the new Wembley. It's been there for years now, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? So we need to fix that. We need to fix the fact of 67 years without a trophy is just terrible. It's not acceptable for a club of this size, especially now the takeover's happened. You don't want to get impatient. It's very early days, just over a year since the takeover happened. But not only are the fans dreaming, the club are dreaming and the players are dreaming as well. Dan Burn has been issuing it to the rest of his teammates as well as Kieran Trippier. Leaders in the dressing room like them are saying, we will be heroes, we will be gods if we manage to bring a trophy back to Tyneside. And that's just the Carabao Cup, that's just the League Cup. We're not even talking about FA Cups here or Premier Leagues down the line or Europa League or whatever. If they brought home a Carabao Cup, a League Cup, the scenes in Newcastle would be mental. Mentioned at the fan cams last night, one of the guys in the fan cam said the city would shut down, and it really would. You've seen Buenos Aires after the World Cup, their celebrations, insane. Newcastle would be just as mental if we could bring a trophy back here. It would be scary to think of it, but I'd be loving it, because it would just be amazing to get that trophy in the cabinet, that, you know, monkey off our shoulder. It would be game-changing for us, I think. And you always need that first trophy to build on the other ones, like Man City did when they had their takeover. So Burns talking about it, they're talking about it in the dressing room. Eddie Howe's made a point of hammering it into his players of how long it's been without a trophy and how desperate the city and the fans are for one. So that's brilliant to hear, and I'm really excited for this Carabao Cup quarter-final drawn out to see who we'll get. Anybody but Man City. For me, if Man City beat Liverpool on Thursday night, which I expect they would, anybody but them, and I'll be happy, and I think we'll go to the final at least. I really do. I really do. If we avoid Man City, I think we'll get to the final. Obviously, we'd have to avoid them in the semi-final as well. But that's what I'm saying. If we avoid Man City until the final, I think we will be going to Wembley. I really, really do. Because you look around, Man United play Burnley. Actually, this video is going to go out on Thursday before the game. So this is on Wednesday afternoon. I'm recording this. Because you lot need to start watching the fan cams and content from the night before. Start watching it and I'll upload more. You need to get on that. So, Man United play Burnley tonight. I don't know what the result. I would say Man United is going to win that. So, if you look at who's through to the next round, there wasn't many upsets last night. Well, there wasn't any, shall I say. Wolves beat Gillingham. Southampton came back from a goal behind to beat Lincoln City. So, yeah, I think Charlton's still in the hat tonight. So, we're waiting to see the teams at hat. But avoid Man City. Get to the final, give ourselves a chance of winning a trophy would be absolutely unreal. I mean, that day out at Wembley, us taking over the capital would be class. And then if we manage to do it, would be wild. Absolutely wild. And I would be absolutely buzzing for it. In another interview, quickly, was Trippier. He had one with iNews, and he was just basically saying about that he wants to leave his mark on the club. He wants to be known as, when he leaves, this is why it was so good to sign him first, and why he definitely bought at the project, because he knows in years to come he can look back and be like, he was the first one to make the move. He was the one who believed in the project, and he was saying he just wants to leave on a high, be remembered for what he's done. You know, push this dressing room on, the players in there, push the club forward, get us into a good space over the next couple of years, and hopefully bring home a trophy as well. Because like Burns saying, and like Eddie Howe said, this dressing room, this group of players are desperate to make history and desperate to push on. And it's so good to see, man. I mean, because last night, the atmosphere, the attendance, more importantly, actually, was a sellout on a Tuesday night against Bournemouth in the fourth round, whatever it was, of the Carabao Cup. You know, if that's bonkers, you wouldn't see that anywhere else. I mean, look at Man City. Can't even sell out Champions League games. Imagine how impossible it's going to be to get a European ticket for Newcastle. Never mind Champions League, just Europa League. This city, this fan base, we're all craving success, and we're even just buying into the project now. You know, like I say, going to see Bournemouth on a Tuesday night is mad. It shows how much the city loves its football. It's missed it massively since the World Cup break, nearly 40 days since a competitive game. You could tell last night that there was a break for that long, because I think the players were a bit complacent at times. It's just getting their fitness back. And that game was a really good test and a really good build towards Boxing Day, hopefully, against Leicester, where we can get firing again. Or again, just get the result. For me, I'm patient with it. All I care about was winning last night, getting into the next round of the Cup. All I care about on Boxing Day is winning 3 points. Horrible 1-0, not arsed. I'm going, buzzing for it. I'll take the 1-0, take the 3 points and move, because we need to keep the momentum going. Just keep the momentum going after that break. And I've seen this today from Dom Skir from Shields Gillette. Look at this start from Botman. Sven Botman at the back. Wow, what a record that is. What a record that is. Is it 170 odd days or something since he signed for the club? And that's his record there. Unbeaten, man. That is crazy. So we need to keep that going, keep things heading in the right direction, keep getting those wins, baby, and keep in those European Players Trophy. And we'll come to Leicester on Boxing Day and beyond. Busy schedule in January. And then we look forward to the FA Cup as well. Third round is at the start of January, 7th of January. And then the Carabao Cup game is just a few days after that. The quarterfinals play on the week commencing 9th of January, I think it is. So exciting times, whether Messi or not, we'll be saying it. Alright, cheers for watching everyone. Drop your comments below. Subscribe to my channel TV. And I'll see you on the next one.